Hello DBAP family, my name is Rick and I'm here to introduce to you our new glove break-in machine here at DBAP Paradise. So we're going to be able to break in gloves very quickly with this machine, which uses an air ram and provides a lot of force, about 1,500 pounds of force into the glove. So when you're trying to make those hinges and shape your glove, it's going to be very useful. So when you start to break in a glove, and this is a new old stock glove, that when we start to break it in, we're generally going to use something to soften up the leather. There's a couple of options here. If I'm doing something on my own and time is not really a factor, I'm going to dunk it into about 100-degree water. Water that feels kind of hot but not too hot to touch. I'm going to dunk it in and then I'm going to begin working it. But if I don't have time to let that glove dry after soaking it like that, what I'm going to do instead is I've got some relatively hot water here from the mop sink, and I'm just going to go ahead and spray this leather and saturate it, but not the same as dunking it, so that it softens it up. One thing to note, if you have something like this, here we have red laces on a white part of this glove. Sometimes these red laces, the dye from these laces will want to leak. So it's a good idea to test them before you start getting the glove wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this towel here, and it works better with a light colored towel, but I should be able to see it. And I'm going to soak that lace, and I'm going to see, hey, is there anything coming off of that lace onto my towel? And that will tell me, hey, if this red is bleeding when I get it wet. I'm going to get it a little bit more wet here, a little direct water on it, and I'm not seeing anything. I don't really care that much about this glove, so I'm not going to worry about it. But if we're doing a customer's glove, let's say he has a white glove with pink laces or something like that, it's definitely something you're going to want to test before you go ahead and get that glove wet. You can always do this break-in process dry. It's just easier and faster if the glove is wet. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give this glove a nice spray all over. The counter will get wet. Make sure you have towels to kind of clean up. So now I have this glove nice and wet, and that just makes the leather softer, more pliable. I missed a little bit up here on these fingers. All right, so I'm going to wipe that up here with my towel. And then this machine has a foot pedal. Important, never let your hand underneath here when you're operating the machine. You shouldn't, as a general practice. I know I just did, demonstrating, but that ram is going to come down with a lot of force. You can see it even causes the machine to flex a little bit. So we want to make sure we're not in the way when we do that. So I'm going to start this glove, start shaping it. I'm going to start by trying to create these creases in the glove that allow it to close more easily. So I'm breaking this glove in with a 2-hinge system. And you can hear that the air compressor did kick on there. And I'm going to start working that heel. That's going to be a really tight area of the glove where all that lacing and binding come together. So I'm really going to try to loosen up that heel a little bit here. And what I can do, because I have the glove a little bit wet, I can go ahead and kind of shape it however the customer might want that glove shaped. And the air ram, the glove break-in machine, can help me do that. Right now, I'm hitting that pocket to try to start forming that pocket for the glove. So you can see I hit kind of all in here on that glove. Sorry, maybe this angle is better, but all right here. So where that web meets the leather, that's kind of where your pocket starts. Imagine a baseball like this going in right there on the glove. That's where we want to catch it. So we're going to form that pocket kind of all around that area. And then once we do that, we're going to continue just working that leather. Here where I want the glove to hinge, I can flip it over. So I'm trying to get a hinge here and a hinge here. So this hinge still needs work. And the extreme force of this ram really makes quick work of building in those hinges. I can kind of re-hit my pocket, make sure I don't let that leather bubble out. And already the glove is starting to loosen up. The air compressor isn't giant, but it is quiet, which is a benefit. But you might need to let it, give it a break, let it refill some air, kind of work the glove. We can always give some of these, just kind of see how it's taking shape. On this glove, I'm trying to roll these fingers a little bit, trying to flare this thumb a little bit, and it's already getting a little bit dry, so I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a little bit more water. That will allow me to better shape it as I'm kind of working it in here. And you can really work all over the glove. You want to try to soften up all this leather, give it some closing memory so that when it dries, it'll still want to close. We don't want it to stay closed, like we don't want a pancake like that, and that's why we're going to open it back up. When we're done, we want that glove to stay open, but we want it to be nice and loose and easy to close. This whole process on a normal glove should take you about maybe 10 to 12 minutes. On a catcher's mitt or first baseman's mitt, you're looking at maybe closer to 20 minutes for a good break-in. This takes all the grunt work, though, out of the break-in process. And what the customer is going to have when we're done is a glove that might not be quite game ready, but it's definitely ready for them to go out and catch with. If it's an older kid, they could probably use it in a game right away. If it's a younger kid, they're probably going to need a little bit of catch time behind it, but they're going to be able to close it, and that's the important part. Because that catch time is not helping them if they can't close their glove, right? It's going to take them forever to break in a heart of the hide. Even an R2G model, if all they do is they go out and they try to play catch with it, because their little hands are just not strong enough to really squeeze those gloves closed. But now this glove, already, in however many minutes this is, if a kid put his hand in this glove, he would be able to close it very easily. It's taking a good shape. And it's going to be ready to go. Now, what I would do with this glove is, I would tell a customer if they want it, same day, I would tell them to give you probably about 45 minutes because I want this glove to dry. And once it's dry, I'm going to take a dry microfiber cloth, and we have some here, and I'm going to use some glove conditioner on it and put it on the cloth, and I'm going to wipe it all over the glove, make sure it's nice and conditioned to keep that leather soft and supple and durable. Because if it gets dry and cracking, that's when you start having laces break and all sorts of other issues with gloves. So you want to keep them nice and conditioned. This one is basically done. What you're going to do is you're going to let it dry. Once it's dry, it might feel a little bit stiff. All you have to do is hit it a few times and it'll wake right back up. You can even condition it and then put it back under and hit those hinges again a little bit, soften the leather up again. And now that it's dry and conditioned and you woke it back up, it's going to be good to go. So if you do ever have any questions about how to use this machine, you can always reach out or talk to your manager, but it's very simple. There's this foot pedal that's on the floor, and when you step on it, the ram goes down. So it's very, very simple. Just make sure you're clear of the ram at all times, and that will keep you safe. Okay? So thank you so much for viewing. I'm glad you can get trained on this great piece of equipment that we have here at DBAT to offer really quick and valuable glove break-in services to our customers. Again, reach out to management if you have any questions. Thank you.